Stacy, we are here.
Hey, 75! Look at that!
75.
Wow!
Man. I feel like we should have fireworks and trumpets and a marching band. I feel like Home Office should support us a little more than this, don't you?
Slackers, yes.
I mean,
yes.
I mean, 75, that's a lot of big changes happen around 75.
Yes.
That's like a golden age to get to, you know, 75 episodes in a podcast.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's fantastic. I say
Yes.
it every week, and I really mean it this week. I never thought we'd get this far, but I'm sure other people have felt similar ways. Like, let's say in 1975, what do you think Sly was doing in 75?
So, yay! So this is our idea.
This is Stacy's good idea because my brain doesn't work. Stacy is the idea girl.
Now that we are into the 70s, we are going to be talking about a little Stallone fact. So 1975, he was in a few supporting roles in Farewell My Lovely, Capone, Death Race 2000, and then on TV appearances, Police Story, and Kojak. You knew that?
Oh, yes, yes. Yes, I'm sorry. Wait, let me wake up. Excuse me.
And of course, we know he was busy filming, but you know, it's the fight, right? The fight that inspired him. That was in March of 1975, and I like how everybody's taken that fight mentality. It's not a literal in the ring fight, but you know, he used that as a medium. Yeah, you know, as how we fight through those things that we struggle with. And that's where the birth of that was. So I'm like, hey, that's a big deal that happened in 75. We're on episode 75. And next week we'll give you a 1976 fact.
Oh, that's right. 76 does follow 75. It does. And I mean, that's a real royal kabanger. That's boy, 76. We're going to do something special for that.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
We may have to dress in costume for that. Oh. What if we do this? Yeah. What if we do this? What if I ain't talking about birthday suits. What if we dress like Rocky and Adrian or any Rocky character? Okay. Any Rocky character. And then we get drunk and then do the podcast.
Okay.
That could be fun.
That would be fun. I have my red beret ready to go.
There you go. I might even go as Paulie. Quite honestly, I think I do a better Paulie than Rocky. I do.
You do a great Paulie. You do both of them very well. Come on.
I do love Paulie. I think I don't know. I'm so partial to that character. I love Paulie so much. I really do. I don't know who I like more as a background character, either him or Gazzo. Gazzo's always been my favorite too.
You know, it's been Rocky Memorabilia May, and so can I tell you, people are knocking it out of the park. First, we did action figures. We got all those. And then we did, what did we do after that? Right now, we're doing posters and paint. And what was week 2? Where's my brain? I can't even remember.
I don't think I didn't send you mine. I thought I did. I did. Didn't I? No, I did.
I don't think you did because I would have posted what you sent me.
Huh. Well, aren't I just the foolish one? All right.
Replica props. That's what it was.
Replica prop. That's right. I'm sorry. I've been a little preoccupied with crap going on. Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
So now we're receiving all of the art, and I just want to, you know, everybody has a Rocky room going, or you know, a lot of Rivoli paintings, and you know, and then like the movie posters and everything. So I'm doing all the wall art basically. And I always love to call out Kate from the UK, who literally decorates her entire house with John Rivoli paintings and all sorts of Rocky things. And I'll put up a few of those pictures here as we're talking, but her house is just a full-on dedication to Rocky and Stallone. It's like unbelievable. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you know, I also like when people send in their own art that they have done.
Yes.
You know, I like when you are because many of us are not Rivoli level artists. Let's face it, not many people on the planet are. But you know, oh look at that! Speak of the devil. Yes, that is I must say I'm fairly proud of that.
It's awesome.
I am fairly proud of that, and that began a big changing point in my life. But I love people's original artwork, and I love that. And going forward, people who do artwork of Rocky, you can send it to me or tag me on Instagram. I basically am no longer encumbered by certain issues, and so I'm going to put people's artwork out there.
Yeah.
Don't send me your artwork if you're selling your artwork.
Right.
That I can't do. Don't do that. But if you are just a Rocky fan and you have just done a picture and you're going to hang it on your wall, or you're giving it to your mom or your dad or your whoever.
Right.
Send me that type of stuff, and I will put that out there because I love everyone's take on a moment or a character, right?
Right. No, I love that. Yes. And the talent out there, because there is a lot. Some people are selling unlicensed, which they shouldn't be, but there are some people who they're making it for themselves. And like, the talent out there is insane. I can't do a stick figure, so
you know what? I bet you could. I bet if you were to do some type of surreal painting of, you know how Sly's paintings are that very surreal expressionist. I think you could do something like that. Because it's free form. It's free.
Right.
You can go anywhere. You're not held by borders. You can do whatever you want.
You know what? I think I would have, and it would be fun. It'd be symmetrical because of my OCD, but it would, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I could do something fun and bright. I have no doubt it would be like that. Well, probably Leroy Neiman-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you should do that.
Yeah. Oh, I never thought of that. I've never painted anything except in 4th grade.
Listen, it's never too late. I think you can do it and knock it out of the park.
So week 4 coming up, I'll announce it ahead of time, is Rocky Clothing. And yes, so I wanted to, and we recently had on Chris J from Contenders Clothing. And I just wanted to go through my haul because they gave us 30% off that week. Maybe they forgot to shut it off. You can go try it. But if you put in Rocky Files, it gave us 30% off that week.
That's great.
So I got this.
Nice. Love it. Love it.
And then I got the long sleeve of this.
Beautiful.
And what I love is down the sleeve, it says his whole life was a million to one shot.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I like that.
Yeah. I love long sleeve t-shirts. And then the boxing tour, the official list.
It is official.
Tell us about that, Michael.
Yes. I will go on record and say this is probably what started getting me in trouble. But I did. They did confer with me to shore up the details and the locations and the times. And that list came from yours truly, which is now considered by MGM to be the official go-to list of the dates. If anyone else is checking, those are the dates they will be given by MGM.
Yep. So that's a very cool official contribution. I loved that when I heard that story. I was like, what? And then my favorite villain, Clubber Lang.
I got mine too, and I love the back of it. I love this one because Sue loves this too. She says she's going to keep it and wear it. But I love Clubber Lang is one of my favorites, and I just love the powder blue. I think they did a great job on it.
Yeah. And then the Balboa one, I just kind of went crazy while I had the 30% off.
Why not? I love it. The old Rocky 4, Rocky 3 part. Yeah, I love it.
So that's my Mother's Day gift to myself.
Well, listen, I'm glad. And how was your Mother's Day, by the way?
Good. It was very good. We just hung out. I made chicken pot pie and we watched a movie. It was an interesting movie. It was the documentary on the plane that went missing in 2014, the MH370.
Oh, right.
So that I will say that it was very, very interesting. It's a 3-part, so an hour and a half per episode, but it's, if you like that sort of thing. So it was kind of sort of a depressing thing to watch, but interesting to watch. And Mom's, she's so good. She's amazing for 81. So we just sat on the couch and watched that cool movie. That's it.
Listen, that's great. And for all the moms out there that, hope all your Mother's Days went very well. And how would you say that? Mother's Days? Hope all the mothers had good days. That's slightly
right. The
better.
grammar.
Yeah.
How was your mom? What'd you guys do?
Absolutely nothing. Didn't see her. Didn't call her.
What?
Forget about it. No cards, nothing.
Oh my,
Of course, I was lucky because many times there was a time, and I'm not proud of this. I would literally forget my parents' birthday. There was like many years back. I don't know. I wasn't dialed in. I wasn't focused. I don't know. I didn't even remember Sue's birthday for the longest time.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, but it has nothing to do with them. It's me. It's my mental impairment that I have to deal with. So then I got this little thing called a digital calendar on your phone. And I put everybody, nieces, nephews, friends, whatever. I put everything in there. So, okay. Christmas is on December 25th. Okay, great. I won't miss Christmas. So now I try to get everything out there. And then I was foiled once again by the United States Postal Service. For years, the letter, the card, the letter, whatever, wouldn't get there on time.
Oh.
So this year, we know that lots of problems with the U.S. Postal Service, right? Everything is running late. And we have soon, we're just having this conversation. I have a mailbox, literally I could walk to put it in, and things go missing. I've had 5 bills go late because I use this mailbox. So now, and I don't trust putting it in my mailbox with the little flag up for the guy to take it. I don't know why I have done it, but I'm not that big of a fan. So I had to get in the car and drive across town to the post office. So those little slots that are in the wall of the post office, out of town letters. That's where I mail everything of importance now. And so anyways, mom got her card. She got her little gift certificate for Amazon because I don't, we talk about this and I do try to find them little gifts, little presents. But there's just nothing that they need. They just get it throughout the year. So mom was saving up for something. And so I, just gave her a little gift certificate with that. And I teased my brother. The only thing I have going for me now is that I call first. So while I was on the phone, my brother walks into the house and she had me on speaker. I was like, I beat you. I came in first. I was here. I called first and you live right next door.
I'm the better son.
I'm better. I'm smart. I'm your older brother, Jay. That's a little reference to Godfather 2, if you ever saw it with Fredo and Michael. Anyways, no, it was great. And so mom had a nice day, and she did what all moms do. Relax and go through the paper and see the Mother's Day paper, all the moms. And it's just great stuff.
Yeah. Real quickly, I sent her a little message, a little happy Mother's Day message through your dad. So just tell your dad to check his DMs because I just wanted her to see my happy Mother's Day. And I'm not sure if he saw it. So.
He has no clue. He is literally clueless about it. On Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah.
Did you do it under Rocky Files?
I can't remember.
All right, I'll tell him to look at both.
Yeah.
He would don't even know what a DM is.
Oh, really?
He thinks a DM is, I don't know. I don't even know what he thinks it is, but I know he has no clue what a DM is. So we'll help. Dad, go to your DMs. It's the messaging. Stacy sent you for mom. Anyway, she probably knows because we talked about it.
Right.
Anyways, have you seen the cover of Sports Illustrated with Martha Stewart?
Oh, yes.
She looks amazing.
Yes, she
amazing.
Does.
She's like 160 years old. And I'm sure there was a little photo editing going on.
I'm going to say no airbrushing at all.
And she's not in a 2-piece or anything, but it really is a lovely cover.
Yeah.
But when you think Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover, you don't necessarily think Martha Stewart.
Right.
At least I don't. And at one point, Sports Illustrated used to be the premier magazine in the world for their swimsuit edition. I mean, guys ran to see the latest cover girls, and girls would run to see the latest fashions in swimwear.
True.
So because times are changing and there's not that big of a call now for women in bikinis and so on, there's a little more progressive movement. they've downgraded, and we actually have a cover of the new issue coming up, which is called Swimsuit Part 2. If you could throw that up there.
Here we go.
Sports Illustrated, Rocky Balboa's real brother, the Eye of the Tiger, Mike Kunda. Yep. Stallone, what does Stallone say up there in the corner? I can't read that.
Rocky says he's proud to have Mike.
So this is a real Sports Illustrated thing. You can go and buy this next month. It won't be out. This is a gift that was given to me by my friend Peter, I think his first name was. Aww. He just took the tour. He's from Brussels. He's a amateur bodybuilder slash amateur wrestler, like the WWF type stuff.
Right. Wow.
And he's a fitness trainer. And him and his wife took the tour just the other day, and they gave me this as a little gift, and I loved it. They did a great job on it. Did a really great job.
You're gonna have to frame that.
I'm going to. I know. Where am I going to put it though? That's the thing. I've got to find somewhere. I have to take another picture down or something. I don't know.
That's cute. Isn't that sweet? See, people love you.
Buying
you gifts before they even meet you.
I know. I approve. What if I turned out to be like? What if I like sucked on the tour? It was horrible, and he's got this useless gift now. He goes, "Oh, this guy sucked. I'm not giving him this." He's got to throw it out. He took time and energy and put it together.
No,
but it was great. It was a great tour. He was a great guy, great family. Yeah, I had a good time. Anyways, that's it, right? Big 75. We're out of here.
We have a guest today.
We do?
Who talk about wearing it out loud. This guy is
He's
everywhere.
Mr. Philadelphia.
He's Mr. Philadelphia.
It's too bad he's not a sports fan. This guy, he has no clue about sports. I think he's a Dallas Cowboys fan, honestly.
Oh, now he's going to get you for that.
Probably.
Yes. But look at this. We have Tony Tornado Penecale. Hold on a second. Bringing him in.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
There he is.
Oh, I was suiting up for this.
Oh, yeah.
I figured.
That was a couple years ago when they were first starting opening things after the pandemic. And I get a call I'm going to Clearwater, I do every year. Yeah. And I get a call. They're like, we have Fox Tampa in our restaurant down here. They want to talk to a fan coming down. And we gave him your number because that's how close I was with this restaurant. So the guy calls me and he goes, can we do it on Zoom? Well, I said, can you give me 10 minutes? And he goes, why? I said, well, you'll see. And my friends are like, no, you did not do the interviewing character. I said, they didn't want Clark Kent. Right. They don't want the normal guy. This is what they want. This is what they're going to see down there in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I love it. That was smart. Yeah. I bet that worked out.
Oh, it was great. They sent me the clip. I still have it. Thankfully, I work from home. I'm actually using my work laptop right now. So I logged off at 3:55, suited up, and logged right in here.
What was the impetus? What was the nucleus of this outfit? Where did it come from? Because I love your Instagram pictures. Where did this come from?
Well, obviously, I always say I feel like Rocky was a birthright to me. Yeah, I was born in 1976. I was born in Philadelphia, and I'm Italian. So kind of like a trifecta right there. Yes, and, growing up watching the movies, about 20 some years ago, we were going to a Phillies game. It was like right around 4th of July. And this was their old stadium where there wasn't a lot of walking around room. Mm-hmm. So I just joked. I said, it's 4th of July. I'm going to wear an Uncle Sam hat that I won at a carnival. And I'm going to paint my face red, white, and blue. And my mom and my aunt turn around. They say, you do that. We don't want to sit next to you. Well, I was bluffing, but you called me. So now I'm going to do it.
All right.
So I do it. And for a couple of years, if they needed good luck, I'd break out this Uncle Sam hat. Then I got one. I found it in a party store, had sequins on it. They win the World Series. So that's now my good luck charm. As that started to fall apart, I found a woman online. I think she was a Canadian woman, didn't know Rocky at all. And so I'm trying to say, well, make this hat, put the Phillies P on it. And then she gave me the shipping cost. And I said, wait, for that shipping, you got to make me a cape too. She goes, well, what kind of cape? So I started sending her pictures of Apollo. So I have a broadcast from a couple years ago where the announcers actually said, I heard Apollo Creed's here today. They must be talking about this guy.
Oh.
So, but of course, I have fun with it when I'm at the games. You know, people, I get the Yo Apollo. Hey, I want you, Stallion. I'll get all that. But
Good.
the people that I mess with are the people that are, you know, a little too intoxicated,
Yeah.
and they'll come up to me and they'll say, "Do you know who you look like?" And I'll mention every character but Apollo.
Right.
I usually start up with Spider Rico.
Right. No, come on, really?
Yeah, I'm like
That's
Spider
great.
Rico. They're like, no, and I'm like Mason Dixon. Tommy the Machine Gun, and
Exactly.
or had another guy come up to me and he goes, "You look like the guy from Rocky," and I'm thinking, "Yeah, obviously." Then he goes, "I pity the fool."
Oh.
Yeah,
The guy,
What?
like,
the
I
guy
don't
said,
even how he even. It's not even remotely fathomable to me that people just to go Apollo Creed, not even the guy from Rocky, just Apollo Creed. Why do
"Yeah,
they not? I mean,
Yeah.
everyone should know this. I don't
yeah."
Right.
understand.
Right.
Well, we had fun a couple years ago. I'm over at my friend's house. This was right before the director's cut came out
Oh,
of
cool.
Rocky versus Drago. So
Ah,
right before that came out, I'm over at my friend's house and I was pulling up the trailer so he could see it on YouTube. And then we pull up the clip from Rocky 4 with the amazing entrance, James Brown
right.
living in America.
Mhm.
And my nephew's walking in the room. He's 4 at the time. He's, "What are we watching?" I said, "We're watching Rocky 4." He goes, "But I don't want to watch Rocky 4." So I tell this kid, I said, "Listen, the church we were baptized is right around the corner, and I will take you there right now and ungodfather you."
Yeah.
Nice.
So Apollo's now dancing, and he looks at him and he goes, "Who's that guy?" I said, "That's Apollo Creed." He goes, "He dresses like you." I said, "Yes, he does." Yes,
Yes, he follows you.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Let me put up this picture real quick. Look at you two right here.
What did he say when he saw you?
What? Apollo? Carl
Yeah,
Weathers?
yeah, yeah.
You know, it was at the Comic-Con last year, and most of the people that were there for Star Wars stuff, Mandalorian and all that.
Mhm.
So of course
Okay.
I show up like this, and the first person goes, "Well, you're in the line to see so and so," and I'm like, "No." He goes, "I know who you're here to see, obviously." So I get now I'm in the line, and Carl Weathers looks over at me, and you could just see like he was like in shock. And so I'm like, "I know it looked better on you." Um, and then I asked him the most soul-searching Rocky 4 question of all time.
Yeah.
Were those your golden retrievers in the pool?
What'd he say?
They were not. He goes, "They were great dogs. I love working with them." 'Cause that's what I have. I have golden
Oh, do
retrievers.
you?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Now in fact, I'm babysitting one right now. I'm looking at her. She's
Oh.
staring at me. Here's a funny Rocky related story. The dog that I had just passed away a couple years ago. I named him after a boxer that I grew up watching.
Okay.
His name was Vinny Pazienza, Italian guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Good
Remember him,
movie
right?
about his life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Played by Miles Teller. So
Yeah.
Vinny was my favorite growing up.
Another
So when I
Philly
was
guy, Miles Teller.
exactly. I saw him at a couple games last year, but I didn't get a chance to meet him.
Ah.
I got his bobblehead though from the Top Gun.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
they did that as a giveaway. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
So Vinny Pazienza, when he started getting into boxing, he was about 13 years old, 1976.
Mhm.
Rocky comes out. He said the next day he went up, woke his dad up, and he goes, "Dad, I got to go jogging. I'm going to be like Rocky." So he was my favorite fighter growing up. I got to meet him, told him I named my dog after him. We became friends, and I'm interviewing him the one time. So we start talking
Yeah.
about Rocky, and he goes, "Tone," he goes, "Did you ever try the raw eggs?" I said, "You know I did." He goes, "Did you throw up like I did?" I said, "You know I did. You know I did." But
I
there's a
never thought they were
picture.
that bad. I
You know,
did them every morning before school. Down
I
them, go running, go to school.
I tried it when I was like about 12 years old, and I couldn't do it. I mean, maybe
Really?
if I tried it now, maybe it'd be a different story. But
Probably.
there was a picture of Vinny at Muhammad Ali's funeral, and
Mhm.
he's
Okay.
actually standing there with Carl Weathers.
Oh,
Oh,
was he
And I'm like,
really?
wow.
how everything turns around full circle.
Yeah, crazy, right? That's great. What is it about the character of Rocky that it just inspired you so much? Why Rocky? Why not like Indiana Jones or Luke Skywalker?
Well, like I said, growing up in Philadelphia, 1976, it
Yeah.
felt to me almost like a birthright, especially being Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how like you remember things of your youth. So
Sure.
Rocky 2 comes out, I was about 3. So I kind of vaguely remember seeing it. It would be on TV, but we didn't have cable at the time, so you might catch it here and there. But it was when Rocky 3 came out, that's when I really got into the movies
Okay.
because I was about 6. And
Okay.
that would be always when the year after it came out, it would be on cable. We had cable at the time, but almost every day, and every day I'd watch it. And that one was the one that was so larger than life, with the Hulk Hogan character,
Sure.
Mr. T, and it was for a 6-year-old kid from the 80s. That was like the movie to really draw you in because it was so fast paced. Where the other two would be hard for a kid because they were slow in the beginning. A
I
lot of
gotcha.
character building.
Sure.
But yeah, Rocky 3 got to me. And then, then years later, it's like funny thing is, like, I was talking to my two uncles, my uncle and my grandfather, and they were telling me about Rocky Marciano. And I said, yeah, I just saw him on TV. He knocked out Clubber Lang. And one of them smacked me in the head. Said, you watch too much of that movie BS. Except they said the full word. You watch too much of that movie BS. And then they were telling me about Marciano and this and that. And then I learned the hard way what was real and what was cinematic. Then of course Rocky 4 comes out, and that one was so fast paced. And I described it recently. I said that one was like a fast food meal. I said, it's not exactly good for you, but boy, is it enjoyable.
Right? That's a good one. That's perfect.
That is kind of a good way of putting it,
Yeah.
actually. I like that. Hey, they can say what they want about how great Marciano was, and he was. Yeah, it was great and all that. But listen, and Marciano didn't have no pet robot, okay?
Yes, it's very true.
He didn't. He had no pet robot. So, I'll stand by that.
I was talking to a girl that I used to train today, and we were talking about some different people that because I did box for a couple years,
Yeah.
and I was an All-American. I had a pretty good career, trained in Philadelphia. Actually, some of the guys, like one guy that I actually trained is a extra in the first Creed movie.
Oh, okay.
And he had the role that I wanted in Rocky Balboa, which I'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
But just being around the landmarks and everything, how like just enjoyable, like growing up. And the Rocky movies, what's funny for me is because being born in '76, you had those time jumps in especially 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
To me, it's like they make sense because it was my age. So in Rocky 3, his kid's about 5, maybe 6. I was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Rocky 4 comes out a few years later, and I was 9.
Right.
Rocky 5 comes out, I'm 13. So I'm seeing his son as my age.
Yep.
Huh. That's
could
kind of
relate.
neat. Yeah.
So everybody else, like they blast the time jumps, but to me it made sense because that was my age and it was things that I was experiencing at the time. Especially you're 13 and you're rebelling a little bit, and
Yeah.
and so I could feel like that you're a teenager now, and you're having trouble in school, and you're getting in a fight with the guy, and you're trying to somehow get attention that you maybe feel is not there.
Stace, go ahead. What do you think about this outfit so far?
Oh, it's
knockout, isn't it?
Talk about, I wanted to go right into the Rocky run because you are such an icon at that event every single
Everybody
year.
knows him.
Yeah. I mean, the response you must get, people just must gravitate to you when they see you.
And the way I started doing that was, in fact, I'm wearing a medal right now. This is not from the Rocky Run, but it's from the Rocky 500 challenge I did last year.
Oh, nice.
And so the Rocky Run a couple years ago, the weekend they usually do it is I usually start working at my friend's Christmas tree lot. We start setting up, we start building the racks, putting the lights up, getting ready for our shipment in 2 weeks. Well, in 2019, Thanksgiving was a week late that year. So I wasn't booked that weekend. People that I met at a Phillies game because they liked my outfit messaged me on Instagram and they said, hey, we're doing this Rocky Run. We're putting a team together called Mixed Marathoners, and we want you to be part of it. And I said, I'm free that weekend. I'm not much of a runner. I never have been, even when I boxed at 170 pounds.
Right.
And at 20 years old, I'm not much of a runner then. I'm definitely not now, but I'll do it, for the show and have fun. They're like, well, what are you going to wear? I said, not the Apollo outfit. I said, this bad boy weighs about 8 pounds. And I want to cross the line. So I said, make our colors black and gold. And I did the black and gold Italian stallion robe, fedora, black and gold trunks, the 70s black and gold knee socks, taped my hands up. And we did it. We had a great time. So now I was like, what can we do for next year? Well, next year got postponed. which actually benefited in my favor, because I was thinking I got to go Thunderlips. If I can get that cape, I can definitely go Thunderlips. I was in Hulk Hogan's shop in 2021, and I'm talking to his manager saying, I need this cape for this run. And he goes, well, we don't have the license for it. It was from the Rocky movies, not Hulk Hogan. I said, oh, damn. And he goes, well, you can maybe make one. And I'm thinking, yeah, but it won't look too good. I'm not that artistic. A month later, a friend of mine sends me a message, and he goes, yo, look at this Rocky shop that I found. They got the Thunderlips cape. And it's not full size, which is good because I would be tripping over it. So I'm like, oh man, I can do this run. I can do a muscle suit, and I can do the white hat, and
Yep.
and I'm like, this would be pretty cool. So I did it the 1 year. I'm like, but I got to make it even better the next year.
Yeah.
And people like it. It's not that it's heavy, but it restricts my breathing.
Gotcha.
So I will, fatigue faster than I normally would.
Right.
I gotcha. There's Tony and Jess.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. First time I met them.
Great? They're
I
great,
love them.
aren't they?
I was so glad that we all touched base, that we were all going to be able to do this, and meet together after the race. And and Tony's, he's got that, he's got a spirit like anybody I've ever met. Especially with his kids and how he psychs them up. I mean, it's great, and it was so fantastic to meet them. I met a girl from New York who's a big Rocky fan, Trish. I think I have her following your page now. Big fan. The Rocky run. What I learned. See, growing up, when you're in Philadelphia, you think Rocky's ours. Rocky is ours, and I'd be watching a sporting event and they'd start playing Eye of the Tiger. I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's ours. That's mine. You can't have our song.
That's funny.
But I was getting ready for the run in 2021, and I'm at the starting line, and these people turned, they said, hey, can we take your picture before we start running? I said, yeah. I said, you guys local? We're from Phoenix, Arizona. We flew in for this. So that's pretty impressive.
Wow.
And then this year, I'm getting off the train with a gentleman, and he runs like a marathon a week. Next week, I'm going to do the New York 26. I'm going to do Boston in a few months. Yeah, I run marathons like every week. Hey, buddy, you're better than me. But I'm like, where are you from? And I could tell he had an accent. He was from Bosnia.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the States
that's
now.
crazy.
Yeah. And you figure, and there's 8,000 people running. A lot of them are in costume. You have your serious runners, and then you have your people like me that want to put a show on. Now, the medal I'm wearing now, this was a Rocky 500 they did in 2021. And it was an online thing, so you just tracked it yourself. I did like a little spreadsheet to keep track of my miles with my Fitbit every day. But you had to track 500 miles by the end of the year. So I signed up on Labor Day, and I started in September 13th, which was my birthday. I said, my birthday was on a Monday. I'm going to start. My dad goes, you think you'll finish by the end of the year? I said, I plan to finish by December. He goes, I don't know if you can. I said, now it's a challenge. Well, since I work from home a lot, like a lot of mornings, I'll get up, I'll knock about 2 miles out, maybe do 2-3 miles at lunch, go downstairs, train, jump rope. So now I know I'm getting close. And the way it worked out, I actually ended 1 hour before I went to see the Rocky versus Drago.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I put it in. I had 3 miles to go, and I'm like, oh man. So I went in, I blasted that 3 miles out, went in, took a shower, went to see the movie.
The only thing I can't really relate to that. I think that's really amazing and formidable. The only thing I could relate to this, and I told Stacy about this, when I go home to visit my family, my dad, my brother, he'll come over, and the whole weekend I'm in, we do something called the Kunda 45. Now, you did the Rocky 500, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Kunda 45 it's about 45 feet from the TV room to the bathroom. So whoever can get to the bathroom fast enough after having half a glass of wine or a full bottle of wine, they are the winner. But in my family, you have to do the dishes. So you ever come over, Tony, don't enter the Kunda 45. It's a lose-lose.
Well, this year I had sent them an email again. I said, are you doing the 500 in? Because, I can always go for a couple more medals like this.
Right.
This was in September of 22. I said, you doing this again? They said, well, we're doing a 100 this year. And to quote one of our favorite characters, I reject that challenge because that is no challenge.
I wonder why. I wonder if they got a lot of feedback or what.
I don't know. I mean, maybe people signed up for the 100 because you had, like, when I did the 500, you got 3 medals. You got a 100 medal, a 250 medal, and a 500 medal.
Mhm.
Like when you do the Rocky Run in Philly, which
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know about doing anything more than the 5K. But if you do the 13-1 half marathon, you will get 3 medals. You'll get your 5K medal, your 10-mile medal, and then your, as they call it, the Italian Stallion Challenge medal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that is a big run, and people do come over from everywhere. I know when I go through people's pictures that I follow or they tag me or whatever, I would say you are probably in at least 50% of the pictures.
Right?
You are either with the people or you're in the background, like in the center, like they're getting a selfie, but like you're 20 feet away.
Right?
Oh, it's the Apollo guy, get him. Or you're just like walking into the frame. You're everywhere.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that. It takes a lot of energy, especially the older we get and the more issues we have with our knees, our back, not to mention you're wearing a costume and all that. You're all over the place. And like, to me, it's like, you know how a Puxatawny goes nuts for Groundhog Day?
Yep.
Okay. That's Philly during the run.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That weekend, it's just like the opening where Bill Murray's in Puxatawny, right? It's crazy.
And, like I said, when I do that, you go down there, like, I really psych myself up for it. I get myself I get myself mentally charged for it, and I got the whole
I
Thunder
love
Lips
it.
on. So this year, well, obviously last year I go to meet Carl Weathers, and they're like, "You're not going to wear the Apollo outfit." I'm like, "Well, of course I am." I met Burt Young in the previous outfit that I had a couple years ago. They're like, "You're not." Oh, I am. So this year I'm going to Hulk Hogan's. He had a meet and greet. And here's a funny story about Hulk Hogan, Thunder Lips. As a child of the 80s, I really latched onto him during Rocky 3.
Sure.
And then a year later, 2 years later, he's the big WWF guy. And I was, as a kid, you're just enthralled.
Oh,
So
yeah.
always wanted to meet him. Always wanted to meet him. And he was one of my big three. I've met two of my big three.
Oh,
Vinny
really?
Pazienza, it was because he's my idol.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, and the third one I haven't met yet, and that's Rocky himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I haven't met yet. But so when I was in college, I was boxing. They picked me to box in the East West Classic in Reno, Nevada, as a junior.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So now I'm gonna box this guy at 175 pounds. Week before the fight, they're like, "We got bad news. Your opponent," and I'm using the air quotes, "got hurt, and your fight is off. We're taking a 130 pounder in your place because we don't have anybody for you to fight." My teammates come back and they're like, "We don't want to tell you this, but we're going to." They pull up a picture. They met Hulk Hogan in the airport and they got their picture. It was in our
Oh,
school
really?
newspaper. So, of course, I am like jealous as can be. So now every year I go to Clearwater and I go to his shop, and every year he would never be there. And I would go to his bar, he wouldn't be there. And my one buddy would be like, "Hey, look at my picture, 1997." I said, "If I ever find the guy that I was supposed to fight 25 years ago or 26 years ago, I'll build a ring and he will get in it with me and he's not going to duck me anymore.
Yeah.
You've been ducking me long enough."
Yeah.
And I said, that beating he was going to get in 97 had 25 years of interest on it. I said, now he's off the hook. I got my picture. So I go to Hulk's meet and greet and I said, I brought the Thunder Lips cape, but I figured a signature wouldn't show up on it. So I had him just sign a Hulkamania shirt. But I said, I will wear it to karaoke night. He goes, "You're going to wear that to karaoke night?" He goes, "I don't think you will." So, you can't turn down a dare.
A challenge.
Yeah, Thunder Lips himself. So I wore the hat, I wore the cape, I sang. And then he was like, "Can I get a photo with you?" I won't even charge you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
Did he go into any type of his actor, his skit, like, "Ooh, yeah," any of that?
A little bit during the meet and greet. A little
that's
bit during
cool.
the
That's
meet and
good.
greet.
That's good.
Called me Tony Tornado, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I'll tell you, I don't
Here's
know if I
another one.
sent this to you guys, and maybe I did previously. I still have an article, and I got in trouble at work over this. When I was at my 2 jobs ago. I was there for a couple of years. I was there 7, 8 years at the time.
Uh-huh.
Rocky Balboa is going to come out. They're going to start filming in early 2006.
I love
And
this story.
yeah, they get into my mind. It's like, you got to audition for this.
Right.
And they're going to have an open audition. And I am firing myself up. And I'm getting so excited. Everybody's filling my ear. "You're the perfect guy. They'll put you in the gym. You're going to hit the bags. You're going to be this, character, And so now, 3 days before the audition, I'm in the hospital getting my appendix out.
Oh.
And I'm out of work, because I couldn't drive, and I said, Dad, you got to take me down. You got to drive me to this. I took a couple pain pills that morning, my stuff, and I went down, and I am looking like hell. I got my jacket on, got my fedora on. I said, I'm gonna give the best look I got. So I'm standing in line with a guy that I actually had boxed a few years prior, and he's like, Tone, you look terrible. I'm like, well, great. I look how I feel. We walk in together, and Diane Heary from Heary Casting looks at me. She goes, "You want to read for a part?" I said, "Me read for a part? What?" And I said, "I'm just thinking I'm going to hit the bags or something. I'm a boxer." She goes, "No, no, 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 no. I can see you as a white trash thug in a bar." So that scene where the guy was, "Why don't you buy us a drink?" That's what I read for. So I don't. As I'm walking out, the local paper, Philadelphia Inquirer, is like, "Yo, can we interview you?" Yeah. Doesn't my job say it? And they're like, "Oh, I thought you were out on disability." They're like, "No, we're just busting you. We're just busting you. Good luck." So now
great.
every day I have my cell phone. I'm waiting for this call. If I had a meeting, I'd give it to the receptionist because, God forbid it goes to voicemail. So I don't get the call. I go down on the set at the Italian market one day. I'm just walking down the street, just trying to get in. And then I go to where they're having everybody just running up the art museum steps. I wasn't going to do it because I was a little bitter about not getting the call. I was 29. And you're not thinking because you don't have that experience before. So I'm not going to go. And then I get a message on MySpace from a local Philadelphia DJ that was pretty popular, and he goes, "Yo, you ought to go to this." And I'm like, "No." I'm driving to work and I'm listening to him on the radio, and he's talking about it, and I'm like, I'm going. I get to work and I'm like, I got to leave. They're like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "Last day of filming." They're like, "But don't we have a meeting today with the CEO?" I said, "He don't know who I am. He ain't going to miss me."
Right.
Well, thank God I was honest because, of course, the local news cameras catch me on there. But I got cut out of that one. I got cut out of that. I could see my arm from like 100 yards away. There was a group shot. And I'm seeing all these people I was in line with, and I was so jealous. So now Creed's coming out, and they're like, people are like, "Yeah, why don't you put in for this one?" I'm like, "No, I got a new job, just got a promotion. I'm not wasting my time." And then I had 3 friends in it. I know Gabe Rosado, who played Leo the Lion.
Yeah.
I've seen him. I actually went to a couple
He
of
just
fights.
retired, didn't he?
Yeah, just retired about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember watching him when he was like 3-0. I went to a couple of his fights when he was just starting out. A guy that I trained was in the gym hitting the bags, and then the one guy that I mentioned to you guys before, Joey I, who is a boxing trainer now, and he was one of the kids in the Rocky 2 scene running up the steps.
Yeah.
And then he's in Creed where he's like, "Yo, Rock, you making a comeback?
Right.
The Italian Stallion's back." That's my boy Joey. So I'm like, I see three guys, and I was like, "Oh man, you guys, Creed 2's coming out." I'm like, open auditions. I'm like, email. I'm like, thank God it's email. Boom, boom, boom. Sent the picture. I said, "Hey, Diane, it's the appendix guy." Blah blah blah.
Right.
And she was like, "Yeah, we want you for a fight scene, and we want you as a Vegas VIP in the front row." And that's when
Nice.
they put me
Excellent.
right behind Stuntman Wheeler's corner when Adonis knocks him out.
Yeah.
And I'm front row, and I'm having such a great time. So when Andre Ward, who plays Stuntman Wheeler, was sitting down on breaks, he was 5 feet from me. I'm like, this is really cool. And I got to see how much work it was because a fight that was maybe a minute in the movie took a day and a half to shoot.
That's unbelievable.
And then for the second half of day 2, they moved us around, and they said they took a lot of the lights down. They said, "Now you're in the Ukraine." So, boy, do I got jet lag. I went from Vegas to the Ukraine in about 32 minutes.
And you never left Philly.
And I never left Philly. But it was cool to see Dolph Lundgren when he was standing in the ring, and he was Ivan Drago right there.
Wasn't that awesome?
Wow.
And he's standing there. He's just big and menacing, and and he's intimidating. And then he gets out of the ring, and he's just smiling at everybody. He's high-fiving the extras, and I'm like, he went from Ivan to Dolph in a second, and it was cool to see. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Cool. After 2 days from standing up so many times on the knockdown, I said, "Boy, it felt like I did 1,000 crunches yesterday." Got an ab workout like you wouldn't believe. You guys will appreciate this. When I did that audition for Rocky Balboa, couple years later, my friend, who's now married, in fact, it was his son that I threatened on Godfather. When he was he started going out with a girl in 2010, a couple years after the movie came out, and I don't know nothing about this. That what one of his lines to pick her up was being in the movie. So
Oh, really?
he doesn't tell me this. So we're going down the shore. This is a couple years after they're going out and they're engaged, and we're riding down the shore, and we said something about Rocky, and she goes, "Oh, do you know Mike was in the last Rocky movie?" I said, "No, I don't know this." And you see his eyes go wide as saucers. And she goes, "Oh my God, he went to the audition and they had him read for a part and he didn't get it, but he was on set 2 days and he was running up the art museum steps." And I'm like, "Boy, this sounds really, really, really
Really
familiar."
familiar.
And I said, "Did he have his appendix out 2 days before or 3 days before the audition?" "No, why would you say that?" I said, "Because that's my story. He used my story to bait her, to woo her."
Really?
And she
Oh.
still married him.
Oh, well, then she's got, if anything goes south there, she knows what she's getting herself into.
Well, they just had they're coming up on their 11-year anniversary, so I guess they're doing
Good
okay.
for them.
Yeah.
Good. Tony, just one little side note here. Next time when we bring you back in, could you bring a few stories?
Yeah, maybe one or two.
Yeah, one or two.
Yeah.
This is the easiest interview podcast
Right?
Stacey and I have ever had to do.
Yeah.
I've gotten my laundry done. I've made lunch for the next 4 days. It's been great.
I was telling Stacey, I do a podcast on Thursday nights.
Yes.
It's boxing, mixed martial arts, and
Mhm.
I've had guys that I know from Philly. The guy that I actually do the podcast with, we almost fought each other in the '98 Nationals.
Oh, really?
And we became friends, and we do this, and we'll talk to MMA guys. I'm not a big MMA guy, but I'm more of a boxing guy.
Yeah.
And we've had Benny Pazienza on. We've had some different fighters on. And we had a couple years ago we had Joey I on. And I said, when Joey
Yeah,
got on,
he's
I
funny.
said all I had to do was basically just, "Joey, go. Tell me some
Right.
stories." And one of his lines is, he goes, I'm like, "Joey, why are you a cut man?" He goes, "Because blood is red and money's green, and I'm Italian."
See, it all adds up and makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey's got a personality.
Oh yeah.
We competed together. Joey and I did many years ago, and it was fun. Of course, I won, but it was quite an event, and that was my introduction to Mr. Joey I.
Yeah.
And it was I'll never forget it. Very intense guy at the time.
Oh yeah.
But I a good-natured fella.
Oh,
Good-natured guy.
he's a great guy.
Good-natured guy.
And a few weeks ago, and I know Mike, I saw your angry face on my Facebook when I went to see Creed 3, and you were absolutely right. And I said, I'm going into this because I want to be entertained for 2 hours. I'm just going to put everything off to the side. I'm going to go see a movie. And when I walked out of there, I said, boy, he was right.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because sometimes I can become a little emotionally unstable and
mentally irregular.
Yes. Thank you, Rocky. I appreciate that. And Stacey will tell you many times I have become mentally unstable on the phone, and good luck there, Sue. And so this whole C3, I will not say the name, the C3 spinoff to the greatest movie series ever, because of my connections in that world, I found everything very, very offensive.
Yep.
And I could not understand enough of the negativity about it was out there, why so-called Rocky fans would go to see it. So I couldn't get over that at first. That was at first. And then I had a little conversation with myself in a moment of clarity. And I remember, if someone used to like Rocky IV, they were out of my life. They were dead to me. Okay, because Rocky IV is my least favorite Rocky. So and then I had a real long time. It took me decades. And I said, oh, wait a minute. Everyone's different. They're not all Mike Kunda. Everybody has different life experiences. Right. And Rocky IV, many people love this movie. If you love something, how could that be wrong, right? So then I started realizing, look, you may have been basically right about the crappiness of C3, but there are people who want to see it, and it doesn't mean they're not Rocky fans. It just means they've wasted their money.
Yeah.
And they need a better money management system when it comes to movies.
Well,
Other than that, I'm okay.
Thankfully, my company paid for this one.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they gave me this lifestyle rewards card at the beginning of the year. They're like, we're going to fund you like so much this year. And I'm like, for what? They're like, we're giving it to everybody. It's kind of just like a thank you.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome. Yeah. So every month they give me like whatever, and you can use it. Like I thought it'd be for like vitamins and stuff like that because I work for a health insurance company, right? They're like,
Yeah.
no, this is lifestyle. So if you go to Dick's and you want to buy a jump rope with it, or you want to, buy some supplements with it, go ahead. But it also covers movies. I said, really? So I logged on and they paid for it, and
Good for
so.
you.
But I went there. I went in with like an open mind. Like, hey,
Yeah.
the trailers looked interesting. So I said, I'm going to check it out. And I said, I can understand the people that say, I'll never watch it. And I can understand the people that say, you know what, I'm just going to go in there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, I went in there, but I didn't enjoy it. And part of it was I felt there was no charm. I felt the characters, even Adonis, was unlikable.
Mhm.
And there was the only person I really liked in the movie was the little girl.
Yes, I've heard that.
I felt nobody was likable. And then I say, when you walk out of a Rocky movie, I said, what you want to do is you want to get out there, you want to jump rope, you want to do push-ups,
Yep.
you want to shadow box, you're pumped up. I got like a very timid, cousin that's like very
Yeah.
quiet, very shy. She's not like me. And I said, she'll watch that and she'll be wanting to hit somebody. And
Oh, okay.
I walked out of this movie and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go have a slice of pizza and go to bed.
Right.
Yeah.
I said it was the
Right.
exact opposite. I said
Mm.
the training montage was horrible. The story was unbelievable. It was so, out there, from left field.
I think they just took my big problem. I have not seen the movie. I will at some point probably watch it when I don't have to pay for it.
Right.
When it's for free.
Mhm.
So and I'm okay with that. But my problem is I knew about the script way in advance.
Mhm.
I knew a lot of what was going on, stories going on behind the scenes and whatever. And my problem was that they took so much from the previous Rockies. A little of Rocky 3, a little of 2, a little 5, a little Balboa was thrown
Right.
in here. And none of it was attributed to Rocky. It was, in my estimation, it was just stolen. And then they literally digitally erased Rocky from pictures in the movie.
When someone asked me on that, and you probably will know better than I do. I know when they were making Rocky Balboa, and Carl Weathers was not allowing his likeness in that,
Right.
so they kind of had to either crop him out of photos.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was maybe on the same lines there where Sylvester Stallone said, you know what, I don't want my likeness in this. And they might had to, maybe just even at one point mention his name very briefly, but not have him in any photos or any flashbacks or anything.
Well, it's interesting you say that because against his wishes, they put his name on the poster, and at the end of the trailer, you could see he was listed as one of the producers, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
So, that was to bring in fans, and
Mhm.
and it's frustrating to see that. I can't even begin to tell you how Sly must have felt over the whole debacle that went on. But something good came from it. MGM wants to do Rocky 7, and the premise for Rocky 7 is a pretty good one, believe it or not. And so who knows what's going to happen in the future. I just know I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Well, when it was over, I sat on it a couple days, and being a journalism major, I have a tendency to write.
Yeah. Good writer. You're a very good writer.
And I tend to use a lot of words, and I said, you know what, I'm going to start ranking every one of these, and some of them I kicked back and forth here and there. Now, Creed 2, I maybe got a little higher than most people thought it would, but with my starring power in that for a whole 3 seconds,
I understand.
But when I did the Rocky 4, I said the original Rocky 4, the theatrical cut would have fell down a little bit. The director's cut would have fell down even a little bit further. I liked a lot of the director's cut, the extended Apollo fight, the extended funeral, the really showing a lot of the Rocky Apollo friendship backstory and Apollo's motivation. I thought a lot of it was great, but a lot of it was too choppy for me. And and some of the lines they cut out of there, I think really hurt it. And I made a joke to my one friend. I said a lot of Brigitte Nielsen's lines were cut. I said, I hope for her sake, she better hope that he doesn't make a recut of Cobra, or her character is going to get killed off in the first act.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But I found a guy on YouTube that made a complete cut of Rocky 4. Zach B, I think his name was, and he actually did the editing, and he did an amazing job.
Really?
So yeah, I found the clip online of the Apollo fight where he kind of combined both theatrical and director's cut.
Okay.
And I said, wow, this is really good. And he goes, well, if you email me, I'll send you the link to it. And he did. So what I did was, when he sent me the link, I downloaded it on my computer, saved it to a flash drive, plugged it into my TV, and I basically watched a 2-hour cut of Rocky 4, both the theatrical and the directors, on my TV. Made a big thing of popcorn. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you like it?
Loved it. So that's why in my rankings, Rocky 4 comes in second, because of the complete cut. I said if it would have fell between both directors and theatrical separately, they're down to maybe third or fourth. Now, I will say, people ask me, they said, well, you put Rocky 2 too low. I said, well, Rocky 2, my favorite sequence in any of the movies goes between Win and Yo, Adrian, I Did It. That's my favorite stretch of any of them.
Yeah.
But the beginning of Rock 2, as much as I like it, the characters are already developed. So now you're just extra developing them.
That's one of the reasons why I don't read people's lists of how they rank movies, because I get so angry with that, because I disagree so vehemently with just about everyone's list except my own, which makes sense because we all think our list is the best list,
the best one, right?
Yeah. So I didn't know you did that.
But I'll send it to you.
You know, that's okay. No. Because I like you, Tony, and I know I won't like your rankings. Foiled again.
I'll tell you, you know what? I'll have to also send you guys. I don't know if I ever sent you this. Did you ever see the scammer that was trying to hack me last year, and I was responding with all Rocky quotes?
No.
So you know how you get these Instagram messages, and it'll be just hi. And
Oh, yeah.
So the one, I felt like I was just in the mood to respond to somebody that day. I said, I'm having a rough day. I just got fired from a commercial for Beast Aftershave. The person goes, why? I said, well, I told the director it didn't smell like a man. I said, he says, do you think it smells like a man? Absolutely not. Oh, and she's like, go easy on him, please. Well, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, I run a restaurant named after my late wife. She died of woman cancer. And I'm jumping between all the movies. And
I love it.
And then I'm like, yeah, oh, you must be a really good cook then. I said, well, mostly Hispanics who cook for me. My friend Spider Rico does dishes. We fought, but I beat him. He said I got lucky. And I'm going back and forth. The person's hanging on every word of it. Can you tell me some of your fight stories? I'm like, my late wife, she used to give me pep talks on the beach.
Oh, man.
He didn't pick up on any of it.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Nope. Then when I finally got bored with it, I'm like, all right, I got to finish this. I'm like, listen, I got to go take my very large dog Buckus out for a walk.
Nice. I'm telling you.
Oh gosh.
Stacy, before we let Tony get out of here and go have dinner with the mayor, listen, is there anything else you want to bring up, show us, or anything?
Actually, we got through all of his pictures, I believe. I think that was an extra one.
Oh, I like that one. Jesus, those are huge heads. My God.
And here's
was that the one with the Rocky and the Mickey?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was saying earlier about training people from the boxing days, I had one girl, because I'm doing a fundraiser this weekend, and the guy that used to be the guy that would run this for years was my friend Hank, who I've talked about a couple times, and he trained with the real Rocky Marciano. And the year right before he got sick, we both randomly ended up at I was at a Halloween party downstairs. He was at a dinner upstairs. His daughter comes downstairs and she sees me dressed as Rocky. And she's to come upstairs to see my dad. So we take a picture and someone goes, it looks like Rocky and Mick together. And so this weekend I'm doing the fundraiser because when he was sick, before he passed away, he said he wanted me in outfit to. When he used to invite me to events all the time, these Italian dinners, and he'd be like, listen, he'd be like, Tornado, I need you in the outfit. I'm like, but it's January. The Phillies aren't playing. It's about 20 degrees out. And I'm like, this outfit doesn't have sleeves. I don't care. And I would always show up. I'd be blue as the outfit. And when he passed away a couple years ago, right before COVID, he had been sick. And they asked me to be a pallbearer. I said, I'm not wearing the Phillies outfit.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing it. And I'm walking with an Elvis impersonator, and I said, if he had his way, and I'm pointing to the casket, I'm like, you're Elvis right now. I'm in the Phillies outfit and we're both freezing.
Yeah.
But I had seen him, and like I said, we did the whole pictures together, the whole Rocky and Mickey thing. So this weekend I'm doing that fundraiser,
Yeah.
Well, the one girl that I train, I use her pink boxing gloves as part of the breast cancer thing.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And someone goes, when you train her, and they're like, what do you do to her? I'm like, well, she had never seen Rocky. And I'm like, well, so of course I had to torture her. So like she was not good with her non-dominant hand. I'm like, you're gonna jab that bag till it hoits 500 times without stopping. And then she said, what? I said, you will jab that bag till it hoits. Till the bag says I hoit, don't jab me no more. You're gonna jab it. But it's a bag, it can't talk. I said, you're gonna be here all night then, aren't you? And then someone goes, have you made her chase a chicken yet? I said, no, because if I do that, I'm gonna keel over and die from laughter.
That would be kind of funny.
My other girl, I messaged her today to tell her I was going to be on here. And I said, should I do any of my Rockyisms? She goes, I know you're going to. Because whenever she would train with me, she could not hit the speed bag.
Oh, really?
And she couldn't do it. She couldn't pick it up. So I'd be doing the pads with somebody else, and all of a sudden I'd hear her struggling. I would just stop at it, and I'd be like, come on, rock, speed, speed, speed. Speed's what we need. We need greasy, fast speed. Like, will you stop it? I hate you so much. And I'm like,
how old was she?
She's in her, I guess when I trained her, she was probably about 32, 33.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's something. Now,
So
have you ever considered winterizing your costume, adding sleeves of some sort, so you could do things in the fall? Because that's big Rocky weather.
This outfit, no, because Apollo didn't have sleeves on his. And when they made my original, and the woman sent me the picture of it, and I had sent her all these pictures of Apollo. This is what I want, pretty much. She sends me this cape that she's making, and there are these huge sleeves on it. Now, remember, I go to a lot of these Phillies games, and it sometimes can be up to 100 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
This thing is heavy. I was at a game last year. It was 100 degrees. I had been there for 5-6 hours, and someone goes, man, you're really cool. I said, listen, I can assure you I am a lot of things right now, and cool is not one of them.
Not one of them.
Yeah, but the first outfit they made, they had these big sleeves on them. I said, lady, you got to cut them off because the outfit doesn't wear sleeves.
Right.
I gotcha. All right. Interesting.
Awesome. Tony,
did I do okay?
You did great. I had a bunch of questions for you, and you were answering them as we went. So the Creed 3, you know what I'm saying? That I cannot tell you. I have people messaging me directly all the time. I'm like the confessional. They're like, all right, I have to tell you, don't tell Mike. I went to go see Creed 3, and I was like, oh, I'm like, so how was it? What did you think? It's always the same. It's like, well, this was good, and we liked the daughter, but it wasn't a Rocky movie. It didn't capture the spirit. It didn't.
No.
And I'm like, you're not going to capture the Rocky spirit without Stallone involved.
No, you're not.
I don't care how hard you try or how much money you spend, and they spent a boatload of money, and that just shows you can't buy it.
The way they edited the fight was, I mean, it was like first of all, you didn't have the great musical score. Now, I was doing 20 rounds of boxing last night, and I made my own one Rocky playlist, and I'll start it. I usually start it in the middle, and that finishes my warm-ups.
Yeah.
And then I start at the beginning, which does my on the bag rounds. So if I'm doing 10 rounds on the bag, 3-minute on, 1-minute break, I have a timer. Right as round 10 is about to start, right as that bell is about to ring, it starts off with I'm going to tell you something you already know.
Yeah.
World ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
And that soliloquy takes about 45 seconds. So when that 10th round starts, for that first 45 seconds, I go all out.
Yeah.
Then when that soliloquy ends, then I still got to do 2 minutes and 15 seconds of already being tired.
Yeah.
But when you listen to that, it's funny because you know the song so well, you can actually hear the announcers. Like they'll be playing like the one thing, and you'll hear like the one training montage, and you'll hear Mickey yelling like, "Come on, speed, speed!" You'll hear another training montage, and you can actually hear them, or you'll hear War. Yeah, and you can actually hear Moscow's Pro Rocky. And it's great. It just gets me. When I'm done, I'm like, I feel good.
You feel good.
Yeah.
You went all out, right?
You gotta love it. You got to love it.
Thank you.
Tony, you have 30 seconds in an elevator with Sylvester Stallone. What do you say to him?
Thank you. Thank you for the years of entertainment, for the years of inspiration. Thank you for, making me believe as an Italian kid that wasn't the most athletic guy that, if you have heart and you work hard and you're tough, you can do anything.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Gotta love it.
That's perfect. And he did it in 30 seconds.
I know you should be pressing all the buttons, light it all up. So he's got to go to every floor with you. Hey, Tony, seriously, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Oh, man, thank you guys for having me.
You've been a dream, man.
Great
You've been
job.
a dream. Fantastic job. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your time and a whole lot of your life with us on the Rocky Files.
My pleasure.
Until we see each other again, keep punching, my friend.
All right.
Keep punching. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Ball of energy.
Can I tell you?
Right?
If Rocky needed if the Rocky Bubble needed a mascot, like he is the Rocky mascot.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree. He is phenomenal. The guy, and he really is Mr. Philadelphia. I mean, he really is great. We got to make sure we put up his Instagram thing because he has some great pictures out there, and he's so much fun. He really is. I'm so glad he carved out a little time for us.
I love the people who are just out there with their craziness and their fandom, and he's out loud with it, and I love that.
Philadelphia should pay him to promote their city. I'm telling you, he is an ambassador to Philadelphia. That is an amazing title, and I hope he stays with it. And I'm sure he's going to die. They're going to bury him in that uniform. I have no doubt.
They'll carve out like the Mickey Jim on his headstone.
Yeah, no, I know. Jesus, unbelievable.
You had a nice little visit over to Mickey's gym.
Yeah, man, this has been so. A while back, we all knew that the gym was going to be changing. We knew it. It was originally slated to be knocked down, and then that got saved, and they decided to put the money into fixing it. But they also are changing it up. And on the first floor, they are knocking out the bricks to put in these big glass windows for retail space.
Right.
And when they started knocking them down, I was there on a tour. So I loaded up the van with a bunch of bricks, and I got some of the bricks that had painting on it from the missing scene from Rocky V. It was the mural that Rocky Jr. paints on the side. We never saw it. I mean, fans who have tracked down these pictures, they probably know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so we got a bunch of bricks. But when I was there, I had made several posts about it. And of course, a lot of people have been asking me for bricks, and I'm not giving bricks to anybody. I got just enough for myself. Right. But I know they're on eBay now going for $250, $300 a brick, which if I ever were to sell it, I would probably sell it higher, like $500. Right. Because there are maniacs that do want to buy these bricks that do have the money. But I don't need the money, and I'm not selling. But what was my point? I had a bigger point. So when I put a thing on, and so people, I come up Saturday on my tour, and I see these two guys in the dumpster in the bricks. One of them is Tony DeGennaro, covered in filth in the dumpster, and I see this other guy, and I just yelled at them because they didn't know it was me. Because I snuck up on him. I said, "Put them bricks down and get the hell out of that dumpster, Philly PD." And the look on and then they started laughing, and they said, "Oh, Mike." And the guy kept saying to me, "Mike, oh my God, I'm here because of what you put out there." So he runs, his mother's videotaping this. Tony was videotaping it. And the guy runs over to the store and he grabs a marker and he goes, "Mike, you got to sign Keep Punching on one of the bricks." And so I did. And I thought, oh my God, these Rocky fans are amazing. There's video out there. I don't know if you have it.
I'm going to cut it in. Yeah.
Mike Kunda, the man himself, unmasking the mural from Mick's gym.
This is a little bit of the original mural from Rocky V, a deleted scene that we never got to see. I'll send you the picture. I don't know if you probably have the picture.
I don't think I do.
But if you don't have the, I'll send it to you. There's that mural that Rocky Jr. paints on the side, and you can see this is the paint underneath that they painted over it.
No way.
Look at that. That's insane.
Now that a lot of pieces in here, you picked the piece.
I'm gonna have to be very judicial with that.
Yeah.
No, those were fun posts. Yeah, and
great.
Tony, I swear to God, he took one whole side of the building.
He did.
He posted all his bricks.
Yeah, he had a boatload of bricks in there, which I was amazed. And I parked right across the street. He parked down. He was underneath the elevated train down. Yeah, and so he had to carry a 5-gallon bucket of bricks from Mickey's gym all the way down the street, unload it, and then come back. So he's really diehard. But I'll tell you this, I'm glad someone got those bricks, and they are going to be available for pricing for fans. I'm really glad they are, because those bricks were just going to get hauled away.
Right.
And the dumpster's still there. I didn't have a tour yesterday or today, but the dumpster's still there as far as I know, and the bricks are still in it. Now, when is that dumpster going to be taken away? I don't know.
Right.
But they're done knocking the bricks out because the holes are there on both sides. But it's kind of difficult saying goodbye to Mickey's gym.
Yeah.
That it is a little heartbreaking when I pull up to it and there's new windows in it, and I like. But
it doesn't feel the same. Yeah.
Doesn't feel the same. But it's still the same building, and a lot of it is still iconic. And it's I'm just glad I was there basically every day for the last 15 years, seeing this building and appreciating it as it was. It stood all by itself, just there. And if you're a Rocky fan, you knew what you were looking at. But anyways, good things to come.
That's cool. Well, what a piece of history to have. So,
oh my God,
that's so cool. So you have the piece of the board, and you have your brick.
I got a couple of bricks. I'm going to do a whole thing here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to set up a display, but I have an idea for display. Nice. Maybe do some kind of a wood border, and then put the gym on top of the bricks. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's smart.
Yeah, that might be I think that might fit over there. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Awesome.
All right, Stacy. Where can people find you?
I am over at Had Me at Yo on Instagram, as well as the Rocky Files, and on Facebook at the Rocky Files Podcast.
Nice.
And Michael, what about you?
I wrote a little book called Q, the Rocky Music, wherever books are sold. Go to Amazon; it's the best pricing. There's a movie called The Pretender. The Pretender. By Mr. Jimmy Toscano. This is a great story, great documentary, and go check it out. Sly's in it with me on Amazon or wherever these documentaries are shown. And you can find me at the Yo Philly Film Tour. That is the Yo Philly Film Tour. Yeah. Have I not said it correctly? Did I miss something? No, I don't think so. It's the Yo Philly Film Tour.
Yes. And we want to remind everybody that when you're watching, wherever you're watching, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, to please like, subscribe, and comment. The more of that we have, the more people are able to find us. So that's just a little reminder we want to put out.
Thank you, because I am so glad you said that, because I forgot about this. I had asked you to do, and you did it, and I'm so grateful. I was watching a podcast. I watch one podcast. It's called Talkville. It's with Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling, who played Clark Kent and Lex Luthor in Smallville on the WC. WB, I think that's the name of it. Anyways, it's a Superman related show, and I love it. And they're always saying at the end of it, please write us, rate us, go put something out there. That's how people find us. And I was reading more about it. I didn't, because I'm kind of ignorant to this stuff. So please, just like Stacy said, please write about us. Please, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, it should be all good, but it better be all good.
Or else.
We love the feedback. Anyways, Stacy, I will see you next week.
Take it easy.
Friend. Take care and keep
punching. Bye.
Bye.